All right, audio test. One. Testes, testes. Testicles, 1, 2. What's up, YouTube? How's it look? Okay. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Gem Spec. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Gem Spec. Being that this is the first official video on the channel, I thought it's only fitting that I show you what we're going to be working on most of the time, where we're starting, ground zero, base, and that is my 2003 Honda S2000. Alright, so like I said, today I'm going to be giving you guys a walk around of my Honda S2000. If you couldn't already tell by the massive intercooler below, the car is turbocharged. That explains the gaping hole on the hood. Before I go into too much detail about the car, I kind of want to give you guys a little background on how I got here. So I purchased the car in about May or June, mid 2016. So it's been about 5 years. At the time I was a freshman or sophomore in college, and as you know, money can get a little tight. So I wasn't really able to do much on the car up until recently. At the time, I thought to myself, the best thing I can do for the car is leave it as stock as possible so that, you know, in the future, when I'm able, I can, you know, start putting time and money into it. So that's what I did. When I purchased the car, it had wheel suspension and a K&N intake. But other than that, it was pretty much bone stock. At one point, I was able to get a truck, a different car, so I didn't have to daily drive this anymore. And that's when I really got serious and I said, okay, I've got a vehicle that I can, you know, commute to work in. So I was able to park the S2000 and, you know, actually start working on it, start taking it apart. And that's kind of like when the idea started to sprout that, you know, I want to turbo this, which at the time was pretty far-fetched because, you know, I didn't really know much. All I knew was that around here, you know, fast cars are cool. I wasn't really so much about like the, you know, like let's slam the car. That's never really been my style. So the route I decided to take was let's make it as fast as possible. And so that's what I did. So once I got in a spot where I was ready to start doing upgrades to the car, I didn't just go in there, you know, like completely unprepared. Leading up to the start of the build, like 2019, like the whole year I've been doing research, doing like price checks, like waiting for sales, trying to like, you know, I had a whole whiteboard at one time of things I needed to buy, parts, and things I had to do to the car, little things. Once I started, one thing, well, you'll find out soon, but one thing led to the next, and, you know, whether it was the battery relocation, I saw something I didn't like, and then I started doing something else, and pretty soon I had something that, you know, I'm pretty far in there, so why not just finish it? So that's how we got here. Alright, so for wheels here, we've got Anki RPF 1s, which have been dubbed sort of like the AP2 V4s. It's a joke amongst S2000 owners. Basically, it's so common that, you know, it's like a factory wheel. We've got that. It's a pretty basic setup. I believe it's a 17 by 9.5 square. I'm not sure on the offset, but we've got some all-season tires, very basic. For brakes, everything's pretty much stock. We've got, you know, a set of O'Reilly's pads, nothing special. That's also a point. Both tires and brakes are a point that are going to have to be addressed as we move through power levels. But for now, that's what we've got. Alright, so for exhaust, we've got possibly the most basic setup. We've got a straight pipe from the downpipe back. I pretty much went into the shop. I said, give me the cheapest option available. Just, make it a single, not even the dual. Just make it single all the way back. Keep it simple. So that's what we have here. I'll end the video today with the cold start, and I'll take it through the rev range so you guys can hear what it sounds like. So stay tuned for that. Alright, so in the interior, we've got, again, very simple. We've got the personal steering wheel here, detachable, quick release, bling bling. I actually got that when I got the car. So that's that. Whatever shift knob. And probably the ghettoest part, you guys are giving a shit on me in the comments for, but actually the only gauge that I have at the moment is the AEM wideband, and it's not even placed anywhere. I just have it here near my foot. Whenever, I'm curious, I check, or the fuel, I just pull it up from under my leg and bam, here it is. So, yeah. Alright guys, so now it's time for the best part, some meat and potatoes, probably the nicest part of the car. I'm going to show you guys the engine bay and show you what we've got going on there. Alright, so for the engine, we've got a stock F20C. That's the stock engine for this model year S2000. It's got about 140 or 145 km on the clock. 140 when I turboed it. I've got an OEM head gasket and ARP studs with a rebuilt head. I did all that at the time of the right before the turbo install. So it's fairly low mile. I do have AP2 retainers. Also, I've got complete OEM hoses and new bearings for all pulleys under the intake manifold. It's all been redone. I didn't want any sort of leaks or problems after I had already done this, so I just went ahead and did that all at the time before the install. So over here for fuel, we start with the Walkaround 450 fuel pump in the back with an SOS wiring kit. Then we move up here with the Fuel Injector Clinic or FIC 1650 injectors and an AEM fuel pressure regulator. To account for all this extra heat from the turbo, we've got a CSF cross-flow radiator from Rockstar Garage and 10 and 12 inch SPA fans. For electronics, we're powered by an AEM V2 standalone ECU, and we've got the SOS map sensor here. Here on the hot side, we've got a schmuck-built twin scroll manifold with Turbo Smart Comp Gate 40 gates, paired with the Precision 6262 journal bearing turbo, and what I believe is a 3.5 inch downpipe with pie cuts all the way back. Over here on the cold side, we've got a schmuck-built intercooler and piping, a Turbo Smart race port blow-off valve, and a schmuck-built catch can with a built-in coolant reservoir. Alright guys, so if you've made it this far in the video, hopefully by now I've at least sparked your interest in the build. Coming up, we're going to be doing tons of upgrades. We're going to be doubling the power, so stick around for that. If you saw something you liked today, hit like, or leave a comment down below with something you might want to see in the future or any questions you might have. For now, I'm going to wrap up the video. I'm going to do a cold start and rev it up a little bit, and in the end, I'm going to include some pictures of the build that I took along the way.